Hello everyone, welcome back to PrepBee, and today here we are with yet another episode of VARC practice, wherein we'll be doing slot 2 of CAT 2023. So let's get started. The second-hand September campaign led by Oxfam seeks to encourage shopping at local organizations and charities as alternatives to fast fashion brands such as Primark and Boohoo in the name of saving our planet. As innocent as mindless scrolling through online shops may seem, such consumers are unintentionally or perhaps knowingly contributing to an industry that uses more energy than aviation. So, so Oxfam, he runs a campaign that is called a second-hand campaign, and then it is said that its goal is to encourage people, uh, to buy from local shops and charities instead of fast fashion brands. So these names are given Primark and Boohoo. That in the name of saving our planet, they're actually causing more energy. That means they are contributing to an industry that uses more energy. They are using more energy than even aviation. So, and however, the second-hand campaign, this is to help the environment by promoting more sustainable shopping habits, and they're actually protecting the environment, unlike the other fast fashion brands. All right. So now let's get to the another one. Brits buy more garments than any other country in Europe. So it comes as no shock that many of those clothes end up in the UK landfills each year. 3 lakh tons of them to be exact. This waste of clothing is destructive to our planet, releasing greenhouse gases as clothes are burned, as well as bleeding toxins and dyes into the surroundings, soil, and water. As ecologist Chelsea Rochman bluntly put it, the mismanagement of our waste has even come back to haunt us on our dinner plate. Okay, so people in the UK, people in the Brits, area, they buy more clothes than anyone else in the Europe, right? As a result, a huge amount of clothing, about 3 lakh tons each year, gets thrown away and it ends up in the UK landfills. Now, these discarded clothing, they harm the environment. When they are burned, they release the greenhouse gases. And if they are left to decompose, what happens is it leaks harmful chemicals and dyes into the soil and water. So, one of the ecologists, Chelsea, he says that our poor waste management is affecting us directly, even in the food we eat. It's not surprising then that people are scrambling for a solution, the most common of which is second-hand shopping. Now, what is the solution for all of this? Second-hand shopping. Retailers selling consigned clothing are currently expanding at a rapid rate. If everyone brought just one item in a year, it would save 449 million lbs of waste, equivalent to the weight of 1 million polar bears. Thrifting has increasingly become a trending practice. London is home to many second-hand or more commonly coined vintage shops across the city from Bayswater to Brixton. So now people are looking for solutions. One of the popular solution is to buy second-hand items. Now, stores that are selling these second-hand items are they are growing very quickly. And it is said that if each person brought just one second-hand item each year, it would reduce the waste by 449 million pounds, right? Which is a way of the million polar bears. So now shopping for second-hand items or thrifting, it has become very trendy. And similarly, London has a lot of these thrift shops or vintage stores across the city that is mentioned. So you're cool and you care about the planet. You have killed two birds with one stone. So now you're also cool and now you care about the planet. But do people simply purchase a second-hand item, flash it on Instagram with vintage, and call it a day without considering what they are doing is actually effective? Is it really effective? Have you thought about that? According to a study commissioned by Patagonia, for instance, older clothes shed more microfibers. These can end up in our rivers and seas after just one wash due to the worn material, thus contributing to the microfiber pollution. To break it down, the amount of microfibers released by laundering 1 lakh fleece jackets is equivalent to as many as 11,900 plastic grocery bags, and up to 40% of that ends up in our ocean. So, where does this leave second-hand consumers? They would be well advised to buy high quality items that shed less and last longer, as this combats both microfiber pollution and excess garments ending up in landfills. So, here, the author says that A study shows that older clothes, they release more tiny fibers, that is the microfibers. And when washed, these older clothes, they can release microfibers into water systems, adding to water pollution. So washing about 1 lakh fleece jackets release the same amount of microfibers as nearly 12,000 plastic bags, and about 40% of those microfibers get into the oceans. Now, second-hand shoppers should focus on buying high-quality items that don't shed as much and last longer. This helps reduce microfiber pollution and decreases waste from the discarded clothing. All right. So we need to buy something that is of high quality when we buy second-hand item, right? Luxury brands would rather not circulate their latest season stock around the globe to be sold at a cheaper price, which is why companies like PrepBee, a US fashion resale marketplace, have not yet caught on in the UK. There will always be a market for consignment, but there is also a whole generation of people who have been taught that only buying new products is a no. What is not buying new products? Second-hand luxury goods are not in their psyche. When Whitaker, director at liquidation firm Stock, told prospect that unless recycling becomes cost-effective and filters into mass production with the right technology to partner with, high-end retailers would rather put brand before sustainability. So, all right, now let's see what the paragraph is talking about. Luxury brands, right? So luxury brands, they avoid selling their current collections worldwide at lower prices. This is why resale marketplaces like Thread up in the US, they haven't become which is operating in the US is not popular in the UK. There will always be some demand for second-hand goods, as many people from the younger generations, they think that you know, buying new items is normal, and they may not consider buying second-hand luxury items. Now, when White Talker, a director at some company, he said that unless recycling becomes cheaper and easier to scale with the right technology, luxury brands, they will prioritize their brand before sustainability. All right. So the main idea is you need to make sure that recycling should become cheaper, scalable, so that all of this works out. Otherwise, brands are not going to care about your sustainability. The central idea of the passage would be undermined if Primark and Boohoo recycled their clothes for vintage stores. No, it's not about it's about how there is a popularity of secondhand thrift stores and all of that, and how they contribute more other like and not these fast fashion brands, right? Customers brought all their clothes online. Doesn't make sense. Secondhand stores only sold only high quality clothes. If they would sell only high quality clothes, then we would not talk about all this water pollution, and how the problem itself would be solved. If secondhand stores only sold high quality clothes, the problem itself would have been solved. Hence, this is the answer. Clothes were not thrown at, burnt in the passage. The whole idea of the passage would be undermined. If this happened, पूरा passage का फिर कोई sense नहीं बनता इतना बोलने का. The act of thrifting as described in the passage can be considered ironic because it has created environmental problems. Okay, we'll hold on to it because you did thrifting to save environment. Second-hand items क्यों लिया ताकि तुम environment बचा सको, तो cool बच सको. But apparently it is also causing environmental problems. So we'll hold on to this. It is anti-consumerist attitude. नहीं दिया है कहीं भी. It is not cost effective. We did not talk about it. It offers luxury clothing at cut rate prices. Again, not mentioned. So first, based on the passage, we can infer that the opposite of fast fashion, slow fashion, would most likely refer to the clothes that do not shed microfibers. नहीं, fast fashion का ये मतलब नहीं कि वो microfibers shed करेंगे. Are of high quality and long lasting. Okay, long lasting. Yes, we can stick on to this, and high quality because यहाँ पे we'll stick on to it right now. because we have talked even about the quality items, high quality items. So we'll stick on to this. Are sold by genuine vintage stores. ये तो नहीं दे रखा है. Maybe when Boohoo can come into slow fashion. They do not bleed toxins and dyes. ये कहीं भी नहीं लिखा है. Very distorted. So 2 is your answer. 2 suits best. I'm still not sure convinced about the high quality, but about the long lasting we are sure, and we can eliminate the other options, right? Now, according to the author, companies like Threada have not caught in the UK for all of the following reasons, except recycling is currently not financially attractive for luxury brands. They would choose their profits, their brand over any sustainability, right? Luxury brands do not like their products to be devalued. Very true. Again, they care about their brand. The British don't buy the second hand clothing. ये तो नहीं दे रखा है कि they don't buy the second hand clothing. Luxury brands want to maintain their brand image. So 3. ये कहीं नहीं दे रखा है कि यूके वाले नहीं करते. यूके वाले करते हैं. बस ये वाली फेमस नहीं है ये कंपनी because what? Because it's not very financially attractive यहाँ पे luxury brands के. Now, this sentence, where will it fit? That you'll have to see. And probably much earlier, moving the documentation for kissing back 1,000 years compared to what was acknowledged in the scientific community. So, and probably much earlier, moving the documentation for kissing back 1,000 years compared to what was acknowledged in the scientific community. Let's read. Research has hypothesized that the earliest evidence of human lip kissing originated in a very specific geographical location in South Asia 35,000 years ago. From there, it may also from there to Singh बन रहा है. पहले यहाँ पे location बोला गया है, अब Singh बन रहा है, तो it's not one be eliminated. From there, it may have spread to other regions simultaneously, accelerating the spread of the herpes simplex virus. According to Dr. Troel Sprang Abrol and Dr. Sophie Lund Ramanson, who in the new article in the journal Science draw on a range of written sources from the earliest Mesopotamian societies, kissing was already a well-established practice 4,500 years ago in the Middle East. In ancient, so यहाँ पे भी इसी के बारे में मेसोपोटामियन के बारे में बोल रहा है, कंटिन्यू हो रहा है, and much earlier तो नहीं आएगा, so second is also not the right option. In ancient Mesopotamia, people wrote in cuneiform script on clay tablets. Many thousand of these clay tablets, तो continuation है तो third पे भी नहीं आएगा, have survived to this day, and they contain clear examples that kissing was part of romantic intimacy in ancient times. So obviously यहाँ पे and probably mature, the documentation was compared to what was acknowledged in the scientific community. We just eliminated these 3 options, बचता 4 है तो वहीं पे आए. Either you can just check which one fits, or you can just eliminate the other options. So option 4 is your answer. All right. Now, let's see. Dualism was long held in the defining feature of developing countries, in contrast to developed countries where frontier technologies and high productivity were presumed to prevail. Okay. Dash at the core of the development economics lies the idea of productive dualism. पहले introduce कर रहे हो topic को, right? That poor countries' economies are split between a narrow modern society that uses advanced technologies and a larger traditional sector characterized by low productivity. यहाँ पे तुमने इसकी बात तो कर दी कि poor countries का क्या है. Now dualism का बता दिया, productive dualism. Now you'll have to tell something that is about high productivity, or इसकी high productivity की भी बात करनी पड़ेगी. So we might consider this one. And here next sentence is while this distinction हुआ ही नहीं है, बस इसकी बात की, traditional sector की बात की. So now you fit in this one. Dualism was long held in all of this developed countries. वहाँ का क्या होता है यहाँ पे? Frontier technologies and high productivity prevails. So this distinction is being made here. All right, now you can just say while this distinction between the developing and advanced economies are made, it no longer appears to be very relevant. A combination of forces have produced a widening gap between the winners and those left behind. Convergence between poor and rich parts of the economy was arrested, and regional disparities widened. And as a result, policymakers are now grappling with the same questions that have long preoccupied developing economies: how to close the gap between the more advanced part of the economy. All right. Now, this is we are done for the day. And if you have any doubts, please drop it in the comment section. We'll be happy to help. If there is any passage that you're facing difficulty with, please let us know in the comment section, or maybe ping us on in Telegram channels, and we'll be very happy to help you. We'll take that up in our next sessions. And if you have any feedback, please let us know. Thank you so much.